Good morning, Romeo. Good morning, Casanova. This is your daddy. And today I was going to talk to you about the Bible. Not in the sense of going to read a lot of scripture or anything like that, but I'm going to give you some advice that was told and given to me. Um, it helped me read through the Bible. I've read through it several times. And the advice the person gave me, it really did help because a lot of people will twist the word of the Bible to fit what they want to fit. Um, I can be accused of that. You can be accused of that. Anyone can be accused of that. So when I met this guy, they say when you're asking questions, that means you're searching for God. You're searching for for faith. You're trying to strengthen your faith. And I used to ask a lot of questions back in the day, a lot of questions, and I was never satisfied with 90% of the answers because I felt a lot of people have hidden agendas. I still do, not when this when it comes to the Bible, just when it comes to life in general. Then a lot of people have hidden agendas that they can't share for one reason or another. And so when it comes to the Bible, when this guy gave me this bit of advice, it stuck with me. And like I said, I asked a lot of questions over the years. So there's been a lot of advice given, and I remember maybe two or three pieces of advice people give me when it comes to the Bible because a lot of it, again, like I say, it's their opinion more than it is factual. But this I've found to be more fact than most other stuff. Um, he said if someone quotes something in the Bible to you that is scripture and they want you to believe this, God gave his only son, for us. He wants you to believe what you read, what he's read, and understand what he is. It says make sure you look through the Bible and for more references of it, or look through the Bible and or have them give you more locations where that says it, because the Bible is very repetitive. Jesus isn't in one chapter. His miracles are witnessed by numerous people, and they're written through the viewpoints of those people, not just him. And so he said, pretty much any example, anything that's considered, how do I say it? Um, words to live by, the way you're supposed to live your life. He said it will be in there numerous times in the Bible, at least two to three times, and it's true for the most part. I've been, sin, how it's described is described the same. It's might be described a little bit worded a little bit different, but murder is wrong. I mean, it's not going to say it once in the Bible and be done with it. So just look through a couple times, find more references of it. Don't just assume what one person's telling you, even if they're a pastor. You know, since we've been down south, we've actually had a pastor who say that anyone involved in interracial relationships is going to hell. I mean, that's just nowhere in the Bible. I can't find the spot where it says that if you have sex, or relationships, dating, marriage, whatever, with a person of a different color, you're going to go straight to hell. I mean, it just isn't. That just sounds so unbelievable. But a pastor actually stood on a podium with thousands of people in attendance and said it, and no one questioned it. So, yeah, if we hadn't heard that with our own, ears, we would have kind of shocked. And it's funny because I know people who are actually following that church and that, so it's kind of special. But anyways, so yeah, I would love to find where he found that in the Bible a couple times because that's like I said, just don't give up on religion instantly. Don't be a skeptic as I was or probably am. Just make sure any information you're told, there's other resources, other places. I mean, you have the internet. We didn't have that growing up. What our parents told us was the word of God, from which is golden, is what they call it, golden. It was money, you can take it to the bank, but it's kind of like if you get a chance to watch American Dad, there's an episode I think it's called Irregardless Steve, um, and where Stan gives Steve all these facts, these facts, and Steve fails the test because all the facts his dad gave him were wrong. Like popcorn doesn't pop above sea level or something like that. Just stuff that could have been easily researched, and because Steve trusted his dad, he failed his test because of it. But like I said, look online, use other resources. Don't just listen to my word. But but me telling you to make sure that you find at least two different sources, that's not a bad statement. I mean, if you have a broken arm, you might not need to see a second doctor on that. But if you think it's just sprung, see a second doctor. People always tell you all the time when it comes to medical stuff, get a second opinion. And if your physical health is important, why wouldn't your spiritual health be just as important? Get a second opinion. You know, but what I wanted to read to you today was because the date is 9/25, and so what I always do is I always try to find scriptures that relates to today. I don't go into any day I open my Bible. I don't um open it every day, which I wish I did, but I don't. I always open it to the date or the time that I decide to do it because I feel there's gonna be something there for me. And here's what's today. So I want to show you. This is Proverbs 9:25. Where did it go? As cold water to a weary soul, so is good news from a far country. Again, as cold water is to a weary soul, is good news to a far country. Good news from a far country. Sorry. So don't think of it in the physical sense always that far country means it has to be someone outside the United States. A lot of people don't know people outside the United States. Far country could be someone just distant from you. That's why it's called Proverbs. It's not called literals. It's Proverbs. Um, so, perfect example, me getting good news from, say, my mother. She's several states away. That could be good news. Good news from a person who's turned their heart cold to you. I mean, someone can live, on the other side of the planet and be closer to you in your heart than the person who lives two houses down because they're mad at you because you ran over their dog accidentally. They don't see it as an accident. They see you as an evil monster and they hate you. Their heart's cold to you. They're as far away as they could possibly be while the person around the world makes sure, the best thing since sliced bread. Who knows? You're the bee's knees, as they said. But so this is saying though, is cold water to a weary soul. If you're thirsty, and there's nothing better than cold water. I mean, if you're thirsty, even if you're not hot, cold water. Who doesn't like cold water compared to warm water? Okay, period. I mean, so if you have a cold water to a weary soul, it's like good news from a foreign country. It's changed. We all understand what cold water tastes like, what it feels like, how good, how refreshing it is, and that's why it's doing a comparison. Good news from a faraway country. You might not know what that's supposed to feel like, but you do know what cold water feels like to your, when you're thirsty, when you need that thirst, you have that thirst going on. So I don't think I have no good news today, and it's just not saying I'm supposed to have it at all. It's not saying that. It's just what I was supposed to read to you today. And so maybe when you hear this at, say 4 or 5 years old, it means nothing. Maybe at 10 years old, it means nothing. Maybe you're 27 years old and dad's been gone for 10 years and you're sad and depressed going through a lot and you're watching these videos and you need someone to say they love you. How much farther away can the grave be, baby? How much farther away? I mean, I'm not there with you no more. I'm gone. Everybody who's around you, your adults, your people are gone. Who helped raise you, care for you, they're gone. And you're down in the dumps right now. You're sad, you're depressed. You forgot this video was even on here. You just need to hear someone's voice that's familiar and you push play. And here I am giving you news from a faraway country, baby. Can't get no farther than that, right? I love you guys. You guys are the best thing that happened to me. I'm serious. I'm almost about to cry because the only other memory that was like dominant most of my life before you guys came in my life, before the birth of each of you, was my track moment when I beat. I've gonna tell the story. I'm gonna Al Bundy this story. Scored three touchdowns in single game. When I beat the fastest guy in the state, when I passed him at the finish line and heard the whole crowd, thousands of people, I couldn't believe it. I get chills when I think about it. But it doesn't make me cry tears of joy. You guys do. You guys are the one thing that keeps me grounded. I would have said so much more of these weeks than normal. I would have probably verbally been way more aggressive. But once you guys were born, I could not be that person. I could not be that person. Not that I was over the top that person, but you guys changed my life. I know one day you guys will be men. Big, hairy, smelly men. When you guys are big, hairy, smelly men, I can't have you acting any way besides what I always said I would have you act as. I cannot have you be different than what you need to be. And that needs to be yourself. And if you're me, you're my blood, even half my blood, you're a good guy. Guaranteed. You're one of the good guys left. You're the guy who would never be a mercenary. And if you were, it'd be for a reason that's noble. You're the guy that doesn't take shortcuts. You both are the men that people look up to. I didn't have those kind of role models, but I did look up to my dad in some ways. I ain't gonna lie. I'm proud and happy to say my mom did the best she could. And because of that respect I have for them, even despite the fact that a lot of people look at me and go, "Why? Why are you?" It's because I would not be here without them. And I always wanted to do better. And that should be every kid's goal: to do better than parents. That should be every parent's goal: help their kids do better than them. Be an example that could. I mean, Michael Irvin, Dallas Cowboy. If you ever get a chance to watch his Hall of Fame speech in its entirety, I never seen a grown man cry like he did. Never. I've seen videos of people losing their families, people going to, videos where you see courtroom drama, and I've seen people cry. I've never seen such genuine tears when he looked at his kids, his grown kids. This man's getting elected, has been elected to go to the Hall of Fame to represent the best at his position, one of the best people ever to play the sport, let alone his position. 3 Super Bowl rings in 4 years. Considered one of the best of all time. And you know what he told his kids? Don't be like daddy. Be better. If a man can be that humble, that he's in front of people where they're just cheering him on, they elect him into the highest position. When you play Pop Warner football, you dream of Super Bowls. You don't dream of the Hall of Fame. You dream of all the money, you dream of the women, the planes, the big catches, the games, the touchdowns, celebrations. You don't dream of the Hall of Fame. That doesn't happen until you make the pros. Okay, that happens when you get to college, maybe, but pros, then it starts to pop in your mind, and then it's still a hard reality because only 1,000 so many people in there out of the hundreds that play. But he's at the Hall of Fame speech, at the pinnacle. He's telling his boys, "Don't be like Daddy, be better." Because Michael Irvin had demons. He had problems with the law. He didn't do it the right way, but God protected him every step of the way. God gave him some hardships like I'm going through right now. So maybe this is your message again. Maybe it's you. Maybe boys. I hope not. I hope you haven't done nothing that makes you regret your life. Makes you regret. Sometimes we wish we weren't born. People say that all the time. Hopefully that hasn't popped in your mind. Because remember, boys, this is there's an expression. I might lose this battle, but as long as I win the war. I've lost many battles in my life, boys, and maybe you have too. And if you haven't, I'm telling you right now, be ready. You're gonna lose some battles. Okay. You gonna feel like custard sometimes. It's gonna be your last stand. But the key is, it's just one single battle. It's not the war. I will win this war. I have no doubt about it. I've never lost faith in that. You will win your wars. You are my blood. You're stubborn already. Romeo, I can't get over this story. You escaped your crib before you were 2 years old and walked out and said, "Hey, what's up?" Okay, you might not say those words, but you do that like nonchalant, like, "Hey, I'm here." you know, okay, you guys are capable of great things. Daddy did some great things. You're capable of great things too. So, like I said, just hang in there, and maybe again, maybe this video is your um faraway country good news. Because like I say, when I saw Michael Irvin Hall of Fame speech, I started to cry. I didn't even have any kids yet at the time. I was probably 30 years old, maybe 35 when I saw the video, the interview, or sorry, video clip, and I had to find the full one. And it's just amazing. The man talks from the heart, and I cannot imagine being at the top. It's like winning the Super Bowl and crying and over something else besides the Super Bowl. You won the Super Bowl. You're crying about something else. He's at the top of his game. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's crying because he felt he let his kids down. So, boys, that's pretty much gonna be it for today. I know it's a little bit sad note, but I don't think it's sad. Whenever you think about God and the possibilities of what you can and can't do, because there ain't no can't. There really isn't. I mean, come on now. In my lifetime, I've seen a blackish president. Sorry, I always crack that joke. But I mean, come on, we almost seen a female president. That's gonna be right around the corner. I mean, Oprah and The Rock run together. I mean, hello, that's guaranteed president and vice president right there. So um, the world has changed. We've seen a lot. When I was a kid, they said there'd never be one, and bam. We used to always crack jokes that there could never be a black vice president either, because as soon as if there was never a black president, but only a vice black president, that means the vice president or the president has a bullseye on his chest now because everybody wants to see the first black president, so they're gonna take him out. I'm glad it didn't happen that way because that'd been a horrible moment in history. But yeah, no, there's a lot of things I thought would never happen. And a lot of people get positions and jobs. I mean, come on, the governor. There was a pro wrestler who became governor. There's an actor who became governor. You know, it's it's insane. Congressman Kane, WWE superstar Kane, Glenn Jacobs is a congressman. You know, never would have saw that. Never would have thought Vanessa Williams would have lost her Miss America crown because she posed in Playboy. I mean, tons of people have done that before that, but she's the first black Miss America, and they stripped it from her for something she did years prior. Happens all the time. You'd be surprised, and never thought that she would become the first one. Never thought she would lose it. There's a lot of things. Right now, they're talking about commercial flights to the moon, or no, commercial flights in orbit. You pay $1 million and get on a shuttle. It launches you up in space. You travel around the Earth for a couple of days and bring you back down. When I was a kid, just talking about people landing on the moon was crazy. Well, okay, I was before that, but it still was pretty. I was after that, but it's still pretty hard to do. Now they're commercially doing it, so who knows? Um, Anything's possible. So just believe in God. Make sure you get second opinions on everything. Don't be too skeptical, but if you question it, get a second opinion, get a second voice of reason. Going in there, and just always be yourself. Mm, give you double love today, baby. Daddy loves you.